Thank you for tuning in to 7 Mobile Minutes, brought to you by 7 Media Group. Now, here are your hosts, Ron Cariker and Dave Morris.
Over the hills, through the woods, to grandmother's house, maybe? It's the holiday season and 7 Mobile Minutes is back. I'm Dave Morris alongside Ron Cariker with 7 Media Group. Ron, happy holidays, I should say.
Getting there, yep. Starting to feel like it in Oklahoma. It's drizzling and cold today, so it feels like the holidays are basically here.
Well, as you can tell, I've got the hat and the scarf on, and behind me there's the Cubs swag, so that means I'm in one place, the Windy City, Chicago.
Yes.
I'm at O'Hare Airport, which is a fitting topic for us this segment of these 7 Mobile Minutes. It's the different ways that people communicate via tech. We saw it in D.C. this week, Ron, with some of the testimony in the impeachment hearings, as I believe Ambassador Sondland was questioned about his use of WhatsApp.
Yeah, well, I messaged you immediately when I'm watching the hearings, and they're posting up on the big screen there at the hearing the messages between him and other political figures and people, and the WhatsApp is on there, and I laughed and I messaged you and I'm like, I guarantee you the majority of people in that room have no idea what WhatsApp is, but kudos to our, foreign relations and people that work overseas to use something like that they, at least are up on a technology enough to know that there's other ways to communicate than just your traditional, Pony Express email, that sort of stuff. So,
to that point, people our age, middle-aged people are probably more accustomed to using Skype, like what we're using right now, or perhaps FaceTime, because that's a little more native to our mobile devices. But across the world, WhatsApp is even bigger than FaceTime or Skype, I would argue.
Yeah, well, and both of us, having traveled in Europe and other places, we know friends that we've made and people we've connected with in, places like Germany or London and other places that WhatsApp is really all they use almost. I mean, here in America, you have the native messaging app built into your phone, whether it's an Android phone or if it's an iPhone, you just, take it out of the box and that's how you message. That's just what people do. But over there, they don't use their messaging on their phone built in quite like we do. So WhatsApp is really their go-to tool to communicate in text messaging form. And as like I said, both of us have seen the group aspects of it, the sharing of pictures, some of the things are kind of cool when we've done some messaging through WhatsApp, and we have it here. And then of course it goes to that whole point of no long distance, no charges for messaging, that sort of thing, because it's all essentially web-based. You have to have Wi-Fi access, that sort of thing. It's a big reason, I think, why they use it there.
We saw it a lot. Our buddy Alvin in Germany, he was hooking us up with a group chat there on WhatsApp. It's amazing how intuitive it is, but to your point, it really does utilize the multimedia and the videos and the graphics, all the stuff that kids these days are just using intuitively and, like the back of their hands. For us, it's a little bit of a learning curve, but WhatsApp makes it a little easier.
The thing that I thought was curious about Ambassador Sondland it wasn't shocking that he used it or that they are using it, because again, obviously communication with a multitude of phone numbers, whether they're in the U.S. for him or in Ukraine or whatever it is. What I thought was interesting is he's using a channel that's really not secure, right? So it's a third-party app, and I doubt that most of them, he probably doesn't even know that Facebook owns WhatsApp. So, and as much controversy as there's been around Facebook, it's interesting that the government would allow for something like a WhatsApp to be used. But more importantly, like the idea that they're using an application that is not secured through the phone's technology or the phone's secure messaging portion, that's a little bit concerning in some aspects. But I think what we're seeing now, we are seeing for example, Apple and the iOS updates are more secure, and they're moving more towards a better functioning chat messaging solution. There's some technologies coming called RCS. There's some other things that you'll see with business chat, things like that I think is going to be more a WhatsApp kind of experience. But again, like I said, I think the security aspect of it's going to be better because it's built into your phone versus a third party.
Well, security is something that concerns everyone. As I mentioned, I'm at O'Hare, and some of the stories I've seen and we've heard about recently are when you plug into a USB device at the airport, hey, be careful, you might want to actually use your power cube versus just plugging into the USB port. And sure enough, that's what I've done here. I've got the power cube going. who knows whether that's legit or not, or whether it's just one of those stories that takes a life of its own. But you don't really want to take that chance either.
No, right. I mean, and obviously the majority of things you and I communicate about doesn't need to be secure. Well, it might need to be secure from some people, just from the idiocy and ridiculousness of our conversations. But
just for our
but
pride,
no, I
if
mean,
nothing else.
Yeah, but I mean, when you're communicating with someone overseas, if you're in another country in Europe and you're communicating back to the U.S. or vice versa, especially from a business standpoint, I know a lot of people that we speak to over there in terms of business or businesses I work with or clients we work with there. We'll do like a Google Hangout. We'll do some things like that on a computer-based or web-based type platform. But from the communication side of stuff, it's nothing at all for me to get a message from Alvin, through WhatsApp, and I get a message on my phone. I'm sitting at my house. I message him back. That's just kind of become a natural habit for me now to expect that kind of communication with him. So it is natural. It is simple. It is easy. But again, I don't exchange a whole lot of national secrets or anything like that. So.
Well, as we wrap this up, we won't unveil too many secrets, but the next edition of 7 Mobile Minutes, you will be in Europe, and how have you prepared for that trip from a communication standpoint?
Yeah, I want to share some things next week when we talk again, hopefully from my destination, about some of the apps and some of the messaging and some of the mobile tools that I've used to help get going. I mean, there's some really cool stuff using an app that has AR built into it. I was showing you the other day that measures the dimensions of my bag so I know if it fits in the carry-on. That's just something really simple that I'm like, holy crap, that's great. That's a great use of technology. So there's some things like that I want to share next week that I think people will that travel will understand and maybe find something new that they like. And same for yourself. You travel as much or more as I do. So, those things, you're always looking for the next cool app or widget or something that makes your travel experience better.
And as you're walking through the airports now, they have, hey, download the mobile passport app to expedite, your way through lines. So businesses everywhere are looking to use tech, probably to capture some information, but also add some convenience to life.
Without a doubt. Yeah. Well, cool. We can talk about some of that next week. Hopefully I'll be in a sunnier, nicer location than where I am today.
All right. Sounds good. More 7 Mobile Minutes headed your way, and you can find more information at 7mediagroup.com. Safe travels, Ron.
Thanks.